which it's a pretty damn good AI. It's
So by the end of this video, you're going to be learning how to make a simple AI for your paddles for this game.
let's see where we left off. Which okay, so we have I think we had this working, so we get options and we can go between the options menu and the back and the main menu. So we're gonna click here and we can play blah blah blah. Alright, so we don't have to play through that. So let's work or get started at least today on an AI. So we're gonna based on the match information that we receive in that we put into the match manager will be will let us know if we want an AI or something else, right? So create players. We're gonna create the maximum number of players that what is this? This is the size of the player ID enumeration. So that means that's 2 players. So when we go into create players, we can get check player win. Do we have a match info? Are we getting that? We should. Oh, there we go. It's called info. So I guess we can do that here. Oh, and we also gotta reposition these things. Alright, so let's say if we have a match or an info, I should rename it to match info. If it's null, I don't know. Will it ever be null? Probably not. Are we even checking for that? Up here, now we're just getting that info. And we should probably check to see if it's, okay, let's check. If info, it's not null. Then we're gonna do all of this stuff. Otherwise, if it is null, that means I don't even know how we could end up here. But we're just gonna send it to match end, and we're gonna say player 1 will be false, so we can go back to the menu. But if we are here, that means that we have an info. So I guess since we're already fetching it here, we could do this and probably pass it here, maybe. We'll do that for now. So I guess we can go to paddle, and when we set it up, we still want to get a controller, but we'll have two versions of a controller. We'll have a regular controller like the one we have, and then we'll have an AI controller or something like that. So if the player ID is 1, let's say, or and this is true, we're gonna do one thing, and anything else we'll do that. So what do we need to do here? So player input. Let's go to player input real quick. We're passing an ID and we are getting this. Okay. So let's copy that and do that. So we're gonna have we're gonna do that. And don't need any of this. And we do want to change that though. So we are gonna make this virtual. Let's move that there. And these are gonna be protected now. And that's gonna stay the same. And I guess don't have that. Let's see. You know what? Instead of doing this, let's do that. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this, and instead of passing multiplayer, we'll know it's not a multiplayer. So register player AI, maybe we could do something like that. um, and it's gonna return a player controller AI. Actually, we shouldn't be messing with this file, only this part right here. Public. Let's see what else. We got this, and this should be fine. Public paddle direction, that should be fine. And all of these. Protected. Sends. So we're going to create a paddle AI, and it's going to inherit from layer paddle, right? Don't need that. Don't need these. And then this is override. And yeah, this one doesn't need it either. So we just pass in the player ID, which we will need. And we'll do something else here. What this will need, besides all of this stuff, is going to be a reference to the ball. So that we can track its position and see where we need to move. So this one should be AI, and don't need to worry about this. Move player is probably just going to be a function where we pass in the ball, and it gives us a direction, just how it is. But instead of us putting the input, it's just gonna do it based on the ball. So I like that much better than the other stuff that we had. I'm just gonna change this to setup or something like that. And setup. And then this is just gonna take the ball. And so we are, so let's see, we'll get the position. Let's see, ball position is going to be ball transform position. And since we don't really need the script, we're just gonna do this instead, just so that we don't have to get the this every frame. We just get the that. And for now we can just say that we want to get the direction to the ball. So that's going to be the ball position minus this is player input. player input has that. Let me see how we set all of that up. Which we can't. Hold on. So we need the ball, no, the paddle position. And what should be the best way? I guess the best way would be to just pass it in as well. Paddle or transform. But not here. Let me see. Because if we do it on setup, we're gonna have to do this. So that doesn't. So controller setup mouse player ID. Because we don't have any reference to the actual paddle here. But we can check something out to see. Oh my god, where are you? Create players. Setup, paddle setup, paddle setup. Alright. What else? And here. Sure, we don't care about that, right? No, actually. Controller. This is paddle AI, yeah. We don't care about you at the moment. We just want to know the setup that we did. We actually could just check the prefabs. Okay, so paddle. We got player paddle. And that just contains that. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to. We are going to have to probably do something along the lines of controller dot update position, and then we'll just get that. Alright, so let's go back to here. Let's put that in there, and we're gonna say public and then we get position and just say And then just do that and returns the direction. So remember that when we are introducing new code or new concepts, we don't necessarily want to do the right thing, I guess, right away. We want to get something working to see how it should work. And then from there, we want to build those systems. So then in here, we hold on, register AI, and we're gonna have this guy like that, and we'll do that. Might as well just do it properly. Controller dot setup. Let me see. There we go. So it is player ID. This one we pass in the ball. Where are we even getting the ball? We're not even like at this point. At this point, we don't have a ball. So what we could do instead of passing it in, so it's just gonna be, it's gonna be the same, so we don't even have to write this. We can say if ball transform is null, then we want to do GameObject.find object of type ball, and then I really don't like doing this because it can introduce many issues, but this is what we're gonna do. All right, return all right. So if this transform, because we need it, if it's null, we're gonna try to find the ball. If we did find it, we're just gonna set that, and if we didn't, we're just gonna return 0. So it's not gonna move at all until we find it. And let's see now what? Player controller. Okay. So then we just get the controller, we return it. Good. So then player paddle. controller. So this one needs to be just cast it, and then if it was a valid cast, and I did that, and we are passing the transform of player panel, and everything should work how it was working before. Okay, cool. So we are getting the player controller and whatnot. Okay, so everything seems to be good. Now let's go back here and say player paddle prefab. So we are gonna need another one of these, and this is gonna be paddle AI prefab, and so we're gonna move all this into here to make sure that first player is fine. And if info is multiplayer, so if it's not multiplayer, we're gonna do that. Actually, yeah, no, the opposite. If it's multiplayer, that means we're going to be playing with other people, so they need a regular paddle that they can control. Otherwise, we want the paddle AI and paddle AI and actually, okay. Paddle AI is gonna go down here. So this is gonna actually stay the same because so God. Paddle. All right. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this real quick? So I guess if info dot is multiplayer is false, then we want to do this. Else Let's deal with that one first. We'll say if player ID is 0. So that means we'll do that. There. And then we'll do that there. Otherwise, that means is the next player will do pretty much this. So this one is going to be player or paddle AI prefab, and we're going to do that. And since, yeah, we don't need that anymore, we can just say, okay, if you're that, we're going to do that. Otherwise, we're just doing that. And that's it for that. So we got the paddle AI, we set up add players and add the score. And should be it. That should be it. All we need to do now is get this guy, rename it paddle AI, remove this guy, and then we can add wait, what? Delete paddle, player paddle. Player paddle. And then paddle AI. So let's add that's probably because we do not have this as its own script. So let's do that. Okay. Remove paddle AI. We've got this stuff. We don't care because we're gonna overwrite that, and everything else should be fine. And that one just does that. We're gonna call this paddle AI, and do that. Save that. Let's go to, I believe we gotta go to the gameplay or demo and change something. Yep, right here. Paddle AI. Save that. Let's go to the main menu. Let's try to play it and see what happens. See how bad it. Oh. Well, I mean, it kind of works, right? It's moving and it's following the ball now. Oh, duh. Yeah. Um, so whenever our paddle AI starts to move, actually when we get this thing right here, where was it? Player paddle, no, we don't want that. Player input. So let's go back to the controller, AI. When it calculates this thing, I forgot to say that we don't want to use the X at all, just the Y. And that should allow us to move the paddle how we want it to move. All right, well, it moves. As you can see, and it's always moving, which it's a pretty damn good AI. It's not gonna let us beat it. So we gotta do some more work for the AI. Obviously, we just created it, so yes, it's not gonna be the best. I mean, it's not gonna be, smooth or anything like that. There's still some things that we gotta work on with the AI, but there you guys have it. It is a very simple AI that just follows the ball and doesn't let it, go anywhere else. So what we need to do next is we gotta create some kind of finite state machine probably. Do we even need that at this point? Like, I don't think we need a finite state machine for this AI because it's gonna be super simple. It's just moving up and down. Usually when you want to create a finite state machine is when you have complex AIs that have um, multiple states. So let's say you're creating a shooter game, right? It's going to have multiple states like idle, searching maybe, uh, engaging or shooting or firing or following player or searching for player or dead, right? In a Pong game, you don't have that. You just have moving up or down. And as you can see, we just did that. We don't need anything fancy for for the AI to know what state it's in because there's not much there that you can do in a Pong game. So I don't think we're going to go that route this time, but we'll definitely explore it in other projects that we work on. Okay?
Hey guys, thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to hit that like button and share it with other people. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and click on that bell icon to get notifications of when I upload any new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.